Hey, what's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Welcome back to the channel, you guys. It is your girl, Miss Honey, here for another, you guessed it, Pvalley review. You guys, this show is getting really good. We are today here on episode 5. And there are 8 episodes in the season altogether. So the season finale will be episode 8. And last week we talked about investments. What are their investments in this town, Chucalissa, in their businesses, in their jobs, in their lives, as it pertains to Chucalissa. And this week we're going to talk a little bit more about agendas. And I want us to really just kind of really think about where this is headed. And it's kind of exciting, actually, right? Because here is a story that is being told. And even though it is being told in sort of this gratuitous way, I mean, it is about a strip club and strippers and stripping life, and then about, you know, that poverty line, and then the things that people have to do to stay above it, to just keep afloat. We're on episode 5, and the episode is entitled Belly, right? Which, I don't know, for me kind of references Belly of the Beast, getting down into the thick of things, down into the bottom, down into the center of the beast, right? That's what Belly represents to me. Episode 6 is called Legacy, and we know that Isaiah Washington's character, Mayor Ruffin, has referenced Legacy a couple of times, and we've also heard Clifford reference Legacy. So I'm excited about episode 6. Episode 7 is called Last Call for Alcohol. Okay, it's entitled Last Call for Alcohol, which for me kind of denotes coming up on the finale of things, the finish of things, like it's the end of the night, like the party's over, like the club is closing type, you know what I'm saying? Last call for alcohol. And we can also associate that reference to last chance to get this done, last chance to get that done, last chance to get this money, last chance to make it happen, last chance to make things right, you know what I'm saying? To get what you want, right? Episode 8 is called Murder Night, which I am most excited about because the tension in this episode 5, Belly, I mean, you can just see that it's a house of cards and that it's going to come to this place. And there are a lot of characters within this episode that are completely 110% capable of murder. And in this episode of Pvalley, the Belly episode, episode 5, we see where murder comes to visit, right? So episode 8 being named Murder Night, I'm just like, what? That's going to be our cliffhanger. We've already been confirmed for a season 2. Like, Murder Night just lets me know that something is about to go down. Like, somebody's not coming back next season. But who? And who's the character that's going to be responsible for one of our characters or a couple of our characters or whatever, maybe being murdered? You know, just to get you guys excited, just so that we can stay on track. And both, you know, we're both here. We understand this is more than just about a strip club. This story is unfolding to be quite a thriller. Chucalissa, something in you. Clifford. Okay. Clifford is coming out of this post-coitus moment with Murda, and he is looking at Murda laying there naked on the sofa, you know, and he's got, you know, a little something on, just a teaspoon or something on, child, and he doesn't have his wig on yet. He is, you know, they, you know, everything is all fresh and raw and new, and he's looking at Murda like, what have I done to deserve such a luscious piece of lush. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, and you can see a sense of dread. You know, this longing, this admiration for Murda, but then there's this sense of dread because Clifford's probably been down this road before. We see where Big L is always reminding him to watch your slip, your slip hanging, right? Like, we've been down this road before where you done got involved in a situation and all it has done is hurt you. And then we got to start from square one, just building you back up, right? And you can see this dread in Clifford's face in this moment. Then you see where he goes to the mirror and he looks at himself. I mean, Murda is a young man. You know, he's a young man with sort of an old soul. Like I said, he has a measure of confidence about him, a measure of self-assuredness about himself. Even though he's DL, he's still kind of self-assured. I think he's pretty clear about the fact that he likes Clifford, you know, in that way. But when Clifford is looking in this mirror, child, and he is looking at how the years have worn away the beauty that was Clifford, you know, Cliffina. And he's thinking to himself, is this real? Is this true? I mean, I can see that I am older. I can see that I am a bit weather beaten and worn around the edges. And could it be that this stallion wants me? I mean, you know, it's sort of introspective, right? Puts his wig on, he hears this lady, or hears this singing, goes out into now the closed club, and there's a woman that's been there all night. They've locked her in. She's drunk as Cooter Brown, child, and she is singing Murda's song just over and over again. I don't know how many stanzas or lines or whatever was in the song, child, but she has memorized pretty much the whole song. So I mean, it can't be but 4 or 5 lines, child. It's sung over and over again. I don't know. But she sings it all through the episode. She drunk as Cooter Brown. At the same time, he got a group of his people trying to get in the club from the night before. And they met with a foreclosure notice on the door. So when he go to throw the lady out and send her on her way, child, and they still haven't heard from Mercedes, and he see everybody standing out there, and they all gloom and doom and woe is me type person, you know, energy outside. And he's like, Mercedes is dead. Mercedes is dead. Oh, where is at? Mercedes. No, Mercedes, Lord. And they was like, sir. He turned around and looked at that notice, and he was like, foreclosure? 14 days. Oh. Passes out. Head kicks up. It's a comical moment. And he dolls himself up and he goes down to the sheriff's office and he talks with the sheriff about what's up with this 14-day. Like, you know, he paying the sheriff off. Like, he giving the sheriff money. Like, how could you let this happen? Like, the sheriff is the one that posts the notice. Like, what's T? And the sheriff is just like, look, I don't even know how much longer I'm going to be able to hold up, you know, the rules off your door and things like that, because Mayor Ruffin has it in for you. And this is all his doing. He is the one that's escalating this foreclosure, you know, the sale of your property and getting you out of there, right? At the same time, he tells Clifford that he's got one of his girls down here in the jailhouse, Lexus. Mercedes? He said, yeah, that's it, Mercedes, right? And so he said, I want to see her. Now, you can't see her. You can post a bail. He said, no, I want to see her right now. You owe me, okay? Guy takes him back there, and it's a moment. He told the guy, he said, she's like a child I'll never have. Like, no, I need to see her. He goes back there, and the love and adoration that she pours on him when she sees him, he returns it. You can see that this is a relationship. You can see that they're close. When she see Clifford, it's really like coming to see her mama, right? Because her own mama ain't ish. And Clifford tells her he's going to put a couple of stacks on her bail. Well, first she want to get out. Like, she want to get out, and she want to take the money. But when he tell her about the foreclosure, she says no. You got to think about yourself. You got to think about saving your property and all of that. Put it on that. Don't think about me. It'll work out for me. And Clifford is like, let me go and see if I can get this train wreck in order. So he dolls up to the next level and heads down to the Black Man's Country Club, where Andre is getting his hair cut by the owner of the barbershop, and Mayor Ruffin is in there, and he's shucking and jiving. He got a tuxedo on. Yeah, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. I always wanted to be important. I want to be somebody. And the guys is laughing and all that. Probably in the back of their mind, they thinking that they sell this ninja here, right? And let me just say this. Isaiah Washington, I don't know. Like I said, we talked a little bit about the dialect, how he's rolling. Even the closed caption sometimes is like inaudible. He's playing this character. I don't know if it's to his detriment or not, because sometimes when you play certain characters, you get pigeonholed in that place. Also, it's a part of me that feels like this is Isaiah Washington. This is Isaiah Washington. That kind of cutthroat, nasty, cut you deep, way of talking, kind of threatening, kind of intimidating. Just a vile character altogether. I think to myself, Isaiah, I don't know, bro. You playing this real good. Like, this coming to you real easy, like, Anyway, Clifford walks in, and the barbershop owner says, "Don't you want to view this alone?" Okay. Now, it was the same way when Clifford walked into the sheriff's office. I mean, everybody knows Clifford. Everybody seems to accept Clifford, at least from the outside looking in. It looks like people accept Clifford. Like, it doesn't look like he's uncomfortable living in Chucalissa. I mean, he does have a business there, but he does command a certain measure of respect from the people in the community, from other business owners in the community, from law enforcement. Like, they may feel some type of way behind the scenes, but you can see that he's able to move around freely as himself. That's this androgynous, individual. He's able to walk around untethered, you know what I'm saying? And unconfronted, he sits him down and he says, "What's going on with this foreclosure situation?" Like, Clifford is like, "I'm not having this. Like, you need to roll back these 14 days. Like, what are you trying to do? Like, why are you trying to shut me out? You think I don't know about this whole casino situation?" And Mayor Ruffin is like, Mayor Ruffin got everybody celebrating the fact that he's building a park, which I thought it was a bar, just going back to the dialect issue, but it's a park. And it's going to be named after him. And everybody's excited about it. It's this energy. Like, everybody feels like, oh, this casino coming, we all need to get behind it because it's going to be good for everybody. And Clifford pulls out some land appraisal report which shows that barbershop owner, wouldn't it be interesting to see how he feels about the fact that y'all giving white folks double the money for their property, and y'all undercutting the black folks for their property? Mayor Ruffin is completely aware of it, even though he kind of challenged the white guy that owns the corporation that's bringing the casino about how he do black people. He doing his own people the same way. And he takes these report papers and from Clifford and folds them up and puts them in his pocket. And then low-key threatens Clifford. Ain't nobody gonna believe you. Ain't nobody gonna believe what you got to say. Ain't nobody gonna pick what you got to say over money. And when Clifford gets done talking to him, I mean, I needed a bath. Like, Mayor Ruffin is a grimy character, right? It was a very grimy conversation. And Clifford is ready to hunker down. He's ready to hunker down, boo. Okay, you want war? Huh? I got your war. When he stands up and walks out, he looks at the Mayor Ruffin's assistant. And this is like the second or third time he's made a little slick comment to her. Sort of implying that she's not just an assistant, you know what I mean? But she is the ass. Okay, like, you done sold your soul out to Mayor Ruffin. And every time he makes a comment as the season goes on, you can kind of see what appears to me to be a bit of guilt, a bit of shame, right? So we don't even know who this assistant character is yet, but I think she's going to play a role eventually because they seem to be kind of highlighting her. So later on, after Clifford has left and they've left the countryman at the Black Man's Country Club, aka the barbershop, she's driving, she's chauffeuring Mayor Ruffin down to this ball, and Andre is in the car. Now, he questions Andre about how Clifford got the land appraisal. How did he get this information? Andre was like, well, I'm not sure. I don't know. Are you ducking? Mayor Ruffin said, are you ducking Clifford? Are you putting your strong in Clifford? Now, when he first starts the conversation, he said, how did that thing get these papers? I was like, ooh. Ooh. Yeah, Ruffin, you a piece of work. You a real piece of work. Maybe Corbin Kyle to sign over the deed to the land. Maybe I left it. Maybe I left it in the pink. Maybe I left this paperwork in the pink. He was like, are you kidding me? I ain't all the paperwork I done did, all the publicity I done seen, I ain't never left no paperwork inside no publicity. Okay? Stop ducking around. Get that signature so I can get my casino and stop trying to muck up my legacy. Ninja. Let's talk about Mercedes, you guys. Oh my. I did get some bit of glee from when Mercedes got to her cell, but we see where she is being fingerprinted and she still got on her stripper outfit that she put on that they pulled together for her last dance, and she is bloody and tattered and torn, child, and they got an issue down at the jailhouse, right, where they got pipes not working and all this stuff, so they got all the men, instead of breaking them up, by groups in the cells, they got all the men in one cell and all the women in one cell, and it's a mess, and they are across from each other. And so when they walk her down through there, at the same time they bringing in this woman who was drunk driving, because she came from the paint. This the same woman that Clifford picked up, scraped up off the floor and threw out. They done caught her for drinking and driving, okay? And she's still singing Murda song. Mercedes said, where you hear that song from? Down in the paint when Mississippi did her dance, and she's like, God dog, Mississippi dance for me? Then she asked Clifford, you let Mississippi dance for me? And Clifford kind of had to hide the fact that Mississippi got up there and shook that pole. You know what I'm saying? She shook that pole, baby, and dollar bills came out, right? He's trying to hide that because Mercedes don't need to hear right now about how Mississippi not only got the spotlight, but also got all them dollars that she was supposed to get, right? So they walk her and the drunk lady down the hall, and the men are just being nasty. Women can't be in prisons like that. The men jack off right in front of you. It's horrible. It's horrible. Jail is no fun. Jail or prison, none of it is any fun. So they get her down there, and they got to put her in this cell. When they put her in the cell, and the crowd parts a little bit, junkies and whores and other people in there, the crowd parts, and there sits Patrice with that wig cocked ace deuce on her head and that hook in her nose, child. And when Mercedes sees her baby, that's what I'm talking about, that glee baby, she said, boom, boom, boom. And they get to squabbling and scrabbling. I mean, she trying to pull it. She trying to pull her spine out directly through her nose, and I'm here for it. I'm like, let them go. Let them fight. Let Mercedes get this off her back. She need to kick Patrice's ass every time she see her. That's the only thing that's gonna keep that anger from overtaking her. She need to wail on Patrice's arse every time she see her, right? Oh, Jesse the guard, he separates them. Ain't nobody getting a phone call. The payphone is down in the jail. They ain't got nowhere else to put her. You need to get along with her in here, and yada yada yada. So he goes out, and there's an older lady there who's actually in there because she slit somebody's throat now. And she tells Mercedes that you trying to fight your own mama? You trying to fight your own mama? Trying to shame Mercedes. And Patrice picks up on this energy. And she begins over Over several scenes, she begins the same thing she did in that parking lot to get Mercedes to give her all of that money that she had earned that night from 2 episodes ago. She does it again. Okay, she mixes this guilt. She mixes this pseudo religiosity, the language of it, and the always, you too can be saved, huh? None of us are above forgiveness. All this rhetoric that is designed to evoke emotion. And Mercedes was like, "You speaking of pimp," because Patrice called Cliff a pimp when he came in. This show pimp, and Mercedes was like, "You got some nerve to be calling him pimp. Who pimp?" I was 3 years old when I realized I had a JCPenney card. You know what I'm saying? And my name was on the gas bill. I already had the gas bill and the light bill and things. You know what I'm saying? And a dealer's card. You know what I'm saying? A belt. All of this was in my name and stuff. You used me as your child and my good credit, my social security number, to fund your lifestyle. And then Patrice goes on and on about how she been down on her knees, and it wasn't just the pray and all of this. This for the hookers in the room. This for the hookers in the room, right? And then she say, I did it so you don't have to do it. I did it so you didn't have to get down on your own knees, And she doing this for the mamas in the room, right? The mamas in the room, okay? This is this pimp pastor mentality that Mercedes accused her of. You a pimp and a pastor. You trying to be a pastor and you ain't nothing but a pimp, right? This is what we're talking about. It's talking about reading the room and then tailoring your sermon according to the people that are in the room. And she's going through all of this, and she sees the lily in the valley and the drunk lady that came out of the doggone bar and was drunk driving and all this stuff and been singing Murda's song. She helps her sing it. She's got a beautiful voice, and lily in the valley. Oh, it's a moving. And then they say, everybody in there clapping. And it seemed like everybody is on Patrice's side. It seemed like Patrice is won. Oh, yes. It seems like my old tricks still come in handy. And everybody's clapping and they celebrating. God will forgive you and you and you and you for your sins and all of this stuff. And Mercedes is feeling like they don't even know how wicked this woman is. They have no idea how she has hurt me over and over and over again. I'm the only one. She's looking like maybe I should forgive. Maybe I should. Like everybody can see it. I'm the only one that can't see it. I don't see it. I see that she is a vile woman. And she walks up to him, and Patrice has gotten down on her knees, and she is like, "Forgive, Mercedes. Forgive me." And Mercedes grabs her hand and kneels down in front of her and grabs her face and goes just behind her ear, baby. And just as Patrice thinks that she is going to say, "Mama, I forgive you," she said, "Mama, you dead to me." I said, "You dead to us. Huh? You dead to us. Oh, you dead to us, sis. Huh? We don't know you. We don't know you. Don't ask me for a Mickey freaky thing ever." It was a moment. It was such an empowering moment. At that same time, Mercedes gets bailed out. And she gets bailed out by Autumn. And when she gets bailed out by Autumn, Autumn takes her. Autumn also picks her up from jail. And when she picks up from jail, she gets in the car, and it's this moment where you sit down, you're outside of jail, you still stink, you're bloody, you're hurt, you're cold, you're hungry, you're thirsty, and it breaks. That's the camel. Okay? The fact that Autumn is there to pick you up. The fact that Autumn is there, and she's the last person you talk to at the Pink about windows and doors, and you using one or the other to go in or out of in case there's an emergency, right? And it breaks in her, and she starts crying. We see this softening in Autumn in this moment. Well, Autumn takes her to her house. Keyshawn, aka Mississippi, Gidget, and Murda. So Keyshawn is dancing for this newly divorced woman, this woman who has been divorced from her husband, and she's gotten this huge divorce settlement. Keyshawn is on a high. She's on a high. She had a really great night. She's seen on her social media where she, at that moment, she had 10,000 plus views. Somebody recorded her dance and put it out there on social media, and she's got over 10,000 views. And she's excited. We see later where she's dancing for this woman, and the woman kind of is in this drunken stupor, and she breaks down. And Keyshawn kind of tries to uplift her the best way she can. You know, woman passes out, goes to sleep, and she leaves all of these stacks of money. So Gidget and Mississippi keep the money. We also get to see where Mississippi likes are now up to about 200K in plus. And I mean, she's excited, and she's kind of peacocking around the pink. And some of the ladies are like, oh, everybody has viewed your video, even aliens, you know. At the same time, someone comes in and lets her know that Derek is there with the baby. So she goes out, and Diamond is there outside the door, and Derek is there outside the door, and he got the baby, and Diamond is standing there smoking a cigarette, and he quiet like, he real quiet like, right? Now, all her peacockedness, all of that excitement, when she hears Derek is at the door with the baby, goes away. I mean, up until this moment, she felt like a celebrity. She felt like a star. She felt like she could do anything. I mean, even this next day, people are giving her accolades, and she is well received. But when the moment she hears Derek's name, it's like all the blood rushes from her body. And she goes out and she gets the baby. She wants this to be like a quick exchange. And he was like, why you come out here half naked? She was like, I was just about to dance. I think I just... And Derek is a white man. He's a white man on a real creepy level. He looked like the kind of person that would kill that baby to get back at Mississippi. Like, she is giving us fear. She is giving us, I just want to go get the baby and go inside. I don't want to upset him. I don't want it to be any repercussions. Like, I just want to make this a quick exchange because it could go south real fast. So, Diamond is still there. He off to the side somewhere. Look like he minding his business and he's smoking a cigarette. But he listening. Mississippi turns to walk off, and he says something else. Who gonna keep the baby? Why you in there? Everybody. He said, well, you know, you don't have to do this anymore. I got my job back. And you don't have to do this more. All you have to do is stay home, and you and the baby, and take care of the baby. And she was like, all you have to do is just keep paying the bills. You don't have to. You know. And he was like, oh, okay. Now, he know he can't jack off too bad because Diamond is right there. So she hit the baby, and she scuttlebutt on back in. Diamond stands there while Derek walks past him. I was like, ooh, Derek, you need to walk fast, bro. You need to walk fast because Diamond will burst you in your eardrum so swiftly. Mississippi goes in, and she's trying to get in the door, but she can't get in the door. She's gotten in the outside door, but she can't get in the security door to get into the back offices. Let's talk about Gidget. Gidget is the only person whose telephone number Mercedes remembers. And so when she does finally get the chance to make a phone call, she calls Gidget. And Gidget's not feeling it for Mercedes because Mercedes made a snide comment about the fact that Gidget's mama used to dance and Gidget's mama is kind of strung out. Well, when Gidget gets the call, she is putting a couple of Percocet, okay, and grinding them up and making a smoothie for her mama. And her mama sound like she about 600 pounds in the back room of this trailer and hollering, Gidget! Gidget! Smoothie, I'm coming, mama, I'm coming. She gets the call from Mercedes and she is not in the mood. What? Why? Why you miss your dance? Like, you supposed to have all these stacks stacked up. Why you need me to get you, I bail you out and get the money to bail you out. Now, meanwhile, the phone is counting down. You know, it's a jail phone, so they don't let you talk but a few minutes before they cut you off. And so you keep hearing the countdown. 15 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 5 seconds. And this conversation comes to this pressurized place where Mercedes just tells her, my money's gone. The money I stacked is gone. My mama stole it. And then she bought the building that I was going to buy to make my gym for herself, to make it a church. And it's in this moment that Gidget understands. You got a trashy ass mama just like me. You know what I'm saying? My mama ain't ish and your mama ain't either. And I know what it's like to be tethered to somebody who is so vile and so wicked, right? So Gidget rallies the girls up, as many as she can, Mississippi, the 2 lesbians, and she also sent a text to Autumn to come down to this bail place and pool their money. It's supposed to be only $2,000 is what Mercedes said her bail is, and get Mercedes out of jail. So they get down there and the bail's bonding is a sleaze bag. In walks Autumn. She late to the party. Everybody kind of surprised to see her because, she real distant from all the other girls, like she above. But she there to help. And so they go in and the bail's bondsman is a sleaze bag. He done added fees on top of fees on top of fees on top of fees and warrants and parking tickets and just all this convoluted stuff just to get more money. And it comes out instead of being $2,000, it's $5,000. And ain't nobody got that kind of money. Plus, they all know now that Clifford got a foreclosure notice on the door. And they don't even know if they're going to get more money coming in. And it's the first of the month. It's the first of the month. And it's a great point. They all go outside and they commiserating like, what is we gonna do? What is we gonna do? The 2 lesbians was like, I can't even do this, and they go on. And Mississippi's like, hold up, I need a ride, and she go on. So it's her and Autumn sitting there, and they, commiserating about, she ain't got the money, and without everybody else help, they ain't gonna have the money. And she implored the girls. She said, Mercedes would do it for y'all. So the girls was like, no thank you. So when they sitting there, talking, just Autumn and Gidget, she asked Gidget would Mercedes really have done it for the other girls, and Gidget said, hell no. And they started laughing. Gidget gets on up and she walks on off. And Autumn is still sitting there. Oh, okay. All right. Let's talk about Murda. Okay, so Murda's on a high. He's much like Mississippi. There was some tenuous moments in last episode, but the fact that his song was popping off, like he is on cloud 9. This is all he wanted. So he's back at the club, and he has got stacks of money to his ear, and he is da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? He dropping money everywhere. So we see him come up to the security door, the same security door that Mississippi was at trying to get in the back offices, and Big L sees him on the camera and then looks at Clifford. Now Clifford still got on his blonde wig, but now he got on some readers, with the chain, with a gold chain. I said, you better accessorize, Clifford, okay? And so he's giving us bookkeeper tease, child. Oh, sexy bookkeeper tease. And Big L looks at him, and Big L is like, I know this ninja is not true. What is going on with you and this ninja? Please don't tell me that you keeping up with this dude. Like, come on. You need to be focused on these books. Like, you need to be focused on keeping this business. And we already so far behind. I'm already robbing Peter to pay Paul, and you dealing with this ninja. This is only gonna end up bad, Clifford. And Clifford is like, it's okay, let him in. And don't you have some things you need to count in the back of the storeroom for a moment? And Big L is like, no. Here we go again with this spool skit. So he gets his hat, and as he's going out, C Murda's coming in, and C Murda got his head down in his hands. It's kind of like if you see two dogs, and the smaller dog walk up to a big dog, or a big dog walk up to a small dog, and the big dog just the small dog get down and get on his back and show his soft underbelly. It's a position of submissiveness. The smaller dog is letting the bigger dog know that they recognize his girth, his weight, his stature, his that he is much bigger than much, and he's acquiescing, saying like, you go ahead. I ain't got nothing to say. No, how you doing? He knows, right? Goes in and he wants to talk to Clifford about, the fact that he wanted to kind of lay around and post-coitus and do a little light cuddling, but when he woke up on the sofa, Clifford was gone. And Clifford was like, he was being real short and dry and curt with him, trying to keep it real business. You know what I'm saying? He know deep down inside them butterflies was probably swimming all up and down through his stomach. You know what I'm saying? They don't swim, they fly. But you know what I'm saying? Like he can feel it moving around up in there. But he was trying to keep a straight face and keep it real business, like real business. But I know he wanted to run and jump on Murda child and wrap his legs around him and be twirled around in the air like a little princess child. But he kept it business. And Murda was like, oh, that's how it's going to be. You just going to cut me off. That's all we're going to do. We just going to be just ducking and sucking. That's all I am to you. Okay? And I mean, he don't break his stare on Clifford. He don't break it, boo. He don't break it. All right, and this is that captivating moment, that locking eyes, and he is not letting Clifford look away. He's looking down into the depths of Clifford's soul, and he's giving him the woo woo, right? Huh? He's giving him woo woo, and Clifford is like, "Well, your song is doing good. That'll be something for you to be happy about." And he's like, "That's your song, boo. That's your song. That's a song I wrote for you." Okay, and Clifford is like, "Oh." It's fever pitch. Clifford, and he said, "Let me take you somewhere." Where you gonna take me? Where you gonna take me? You gonna take me down at this here place where the last two gave me and they walked in here, wound up floating in the river? Or you gonna take me down to this place where the last two lesbians went and they ended up being beaten within an inch of their lives? Huh? Where you gonna take me? Where can a man like you take a man like me? Take a girl like me, a lady like me, huh? Where? It's a compelling script. The conversation is compelling, okay? It's very raw, it's very real, it's impactful. But still, Murda does not leave his train of thought. He doesn't leave his focus on looking into Clifford. Like, he's not releasing Clifford's soul yet. He wants to go yet deeper, and he says, "Where do you want to go?" Now, by this time, Clifford done came out from around the desk, and he done sat down on the corner of the desk and crossed his legs, and Murda done walked right up to him and grabbed that chin. Yes! And he looks down deeper. He takes a couple of steps down deeper into Clifford's soul, into his being, into his longing, into his fantasy, into his hope and wish that someone will love me for me. Could Murda be this person? My stomach, my heart, my brain, everything is telling me that he is. At the same time, I am feeling a sense of dread. Like I'm going to go down this same road I've been down before, heartbroken and pocketbook empty. Okay, life laid to waste by another dude. Could it be possible? And Murda leans in and kisses him. And Clifford is like, "I just don't think you should." And he was like, "I'm about to get these lips." And he gets down in there, blow up and blow up and blow up and blow up. And Clifford is like, "I'm yours, take me." And baby, they tonguing it down. Now, the time they tonguing it down, Mississippi that came in from talking to crazy ass Derek, and she trying to get through the security door to the business offices, right? So she dropped her baby down with Clifford, and then she opens the blinds to the office and looks in, and she sees Clifford and Murda tonguing each other down, and she's like, "Oh, it's something inside of her. It's something inside of her that knows she was not supposed to see that." Okay. At the same time, when she gives out that little squeal and they hear them blinds flip, 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 they look over at her and Murda's like, "Fudge!" And Clifford's like, "I'll take care of it." I just say, "No." Murda says, "Rest yourself. I'll take care of it. I'll handle this." I was like, I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means, y'all. What he gonna do to take care of it? I mean, he's given us in the past this soft, this thoughtful individual, you know, a thug with a kind heart, you know what I'm saying? And he seemed like he but at the same time, y'all, it's something about Murda that makes me feel like he will snap a neck to keep this secret. He will snap a neck and leave a bill in the alleyway dead. Like, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So let's go on to Autumn. Child. Now we get to see this man in the sheriff's office, and he actually passes Clifford as Clifford is coming into the sheriff's office to complain about this foreclosure notice. This man has already been in there. He got a hat on. We don't see his face full on. We just see the side part of his face, this part of his face, and he's got a teardrop. He's looking for his wife. She got lost in the flood. He's been up and down the river to all of these towns, and he said, "Well, if you would send a picture or email it over here to this office, we'll print it out, and I have my officers put them up around the town." I was like, okay, where they do that at? But the man was acting real emotional about it. He missed his wife. He loved his wife. He trying to find his wife. That's all it is. Okay, this is clearly a black man, but the sheriff tells him this is what he's going to do. "Tell me what your name is, sir." And he says, Montavious Hill. Okay, and then he walks out, and as he's opening the door to go out, Clifford is coming in. Now, Clifford don't know him from a can of paint. So then we get to see where Autumn goes into the money transfer office, and she's been cut off. They telling her she didn't have enough transfers. They was only doing unlimited for a certain amount of time because of the flood, and they was trying to help people out. Now, she's trying to figure out what she gonna do. They saying they giving her ID back and telling her no, and they say you have been here. I don't know if they said 18 or 10 times, but let me just do the math for you. If she's made 18 transfers at $9,000 a pop, she has stashed away. She has gotten $162,000. If she has made 10 transactions, she at $9,000, she has now she may have $90,000 stashed away. Either way, it's a lump sum of money. I was like, I wonder if Autumn is going to be able to give Clifford the money to save his property. Perhaps Autumn will buy the property. I don't know what's going to happen in the next few episodes. I'm just putting it out there. I'm just fishing, right? Okay, so at the same time, there's this moment where this drunk woman, the same one that got arrested, is about to drive into the building all together, and her and the lady, the cashier at the transfer office, scream. But it brings Autumn to this place where she is like, she thought it was Montavious driving through that building, baby. She thought she was busted. Okay, and she goes and she's trying to make the transfer again, but now she's going to try to use like a different name. Like, she's just going to try to finagle it. She's got to get more money, and somehow I think this is either her money or this is money that she has earned that's owed to her, and she knows how to get it, and she's taking it bit by bit, right? That's when she get the call from Gidget about Mercedes and the bail. And so she doesn't say she's got all this money. She could have went and just paid the $5,000, but she didn't want to do it in front of the other ladies. She didn't want to show her hand in front of the other ladies. So she secretly doubles back to the bail bondsman and pays what Mercedes owes, the entire 5K, and then goes and gets Mercedes. And it seems like this tender moment, especially when Mercedes breaks down and she takes Mercedes to her home. And, before she didn't want to let her in, and she makes her a little red Kool-Aid. And she tells her she ain't got no alcohol because she ain't drinking alcohol right now. And she tells her that Mercedes said, I'm not going back. I'm not going back. I mean, how can you not go back? But she says, I'm not going back. And they have this tender moment. They're kind of standing out on the balcony. They're looking at other kids playing. And Mercedes has already told her mom what that money meant to her. It meant that she would have a legitimate job. She would be an upstanding citizen, a business person, and possibly get her daughter back. Possibly get Tarika back. And we learn in that moment that Tarika is a product of an affair that Mercedes had with Shell, the woman who is taking care of Tarika's husband. He died, and the wife is taking care of Tarika, who is the illegitimate child of her husband and Mercedes. And her mama kind of shames her about that, and just, you're never going to get her back. You'll never be good enough. Tarika is exactly where she needs to be, and this is it. And being with you would be the worst thing ever. And Mercedes tells her, I'm a good mom now. So she's standing on this balcony and she's looking out at these children playing, and Autumn begins to tell her how she tried to get out once, right? And she said, but the waters overtook me. I tried to get out. I tried to run, but the waters overtook me. And she said, I couldn't do anything to save her. I tried to save her. She said, I looked for her 3 days, but I could not. Evidently, when the water overtook her and maybe trying to get out of the car or whatever, the baby got swept away, and the little girl got swept away, and she couldn't find her. She looked for her for 3 days. This is the implication of the story. And, she was just commiserating. She said, then a suitcase came, and it just was like a new beginning, a new chance, right? It is what happened to her. She is being open about it, but an agenda. She has an agenda, right? She needs Mercedes to use her name and her ID. So when Mercedes said, I'm going to pay you back every penny, Autumn tell her you ain't got to pay it back. I got plenty more where that came from. And she takes her inside and opens up the refrigerator, and in the crisper drawer of the refrigerator where you put your deli meats and your cheeses and things, she got stacks and stacks of money in there. And where'd you get all this Skrilla from? Why are you stripping? She was like, I like stripping. I was like, oh, okay. Well, it seems like to me you'd be better at it, sis, but that's fine. And she said, I can give you another $10,000 by the end of the week. And Mercedes want to know what she got to do for it, but this is what she got to do. So they go down to the transfer office, and they gonna put in some names, and Autumn lets Mercedes know she needs several fake IDs, okay, in order to get this money. And she got a friend that's gonna make these, or Mercedes got a friend that can make these IDs, and get this thing popping off right for Autumn. And he ain't gonna snitch. That's why he stayed in jail. And so she go to put Mercedes' name in. Mercedes like, don't put my real name in, you put my stripper name in. It was like, she was like, so Mercedes isn't your stripper name? She was like, no. So it's this little code, the last name you ate is something else. That's how you come up with your name. Crystal S. Flowers, right? She put that name in. And then she said, Crystals? This will always say Crystals. She said, girl, you been in here, down here in Juggaleese all this time, and you ain't never ate at Crystals? At the same time, we fade out to this dog hotel room. This man sitting in the same suit with the same hat on. We just see a side profile now, and he reminds me of someone. I look like Jamie Foxx a little bit, but I don't think the mouth is pronounced enough to be Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx got a real distinct silhouette, but he looks just a little bit like it. And he's sitting there eating Crystal Burger, and he's watching and going the laptop screen and going through all of the transfers that Autumn has made. Okay, he in Chucalissa. Okay, he's in Chucalissa. Okay, and these transfers that Autumn has been doing is what has drawn Montavious Hill into Chucalissa. Okay, boo, and it goes off. All right, so episode was a great episode. I know my review is kind of long, but y'all know we talk about things. We open it up, we peel it apart, we pick at it. Okay, we dig through it. All right, we're not scared. Okay. And I just want to say Isaiah Washington is playing the ish out of Mayor Ruffin. Nico Anand is playing the ish out of Clifford. Like, I can see if this show gets nominated or some of the actors get nominated, I can see them both being nominated. The young lady that plays Mercedes does an excellent job. But we're just talking about emoting. This ability to give off fear, to give off dread, to give off this sliminess. Just these two actors embody it. We also see it in Shannon Thornton. Shannon Thornton is the person who plays Mississippi. That tenuous moment of dread that she gave us in that short little exchange with Derek told us a lot about how bad. Okay, they can't just beat Derek up. Oh no. They're gonna have to make Derek disappear. And Mississippi or Shannon Thornton is giving us that. She gives us that dread. We know that just from her acting alone, right? Not from what the Derek character was giving us, but just that quiet sense of dread Shannon Thornton was giving us. We know. Okay, that Derek is probably going to have to float with the Gators. All right. And J. Alfonso Nicholson, who plays Lil Murda. I mean, come on. Y'all see what I'm saying about the way he looks? The way he looks past you, but deep down inside of you as well. Huh? Y'all see what I'm saying? Like, I could see all four of them possibly getting nominations or nods. When this show, if the show ever gets nominated for an Emmy or that type of thing. Agendas. Everybody has an agenda. Patrice has an agenda, and that agenda supersedes being a mom. That agenda supersedes being ethical. All of that conversation about it's her time and the Lord and all of that stuff, it's made moot by the fact that she stole that girl's money and she stole that girl's property, right? So miss me with it. Same time we see Clifford. You know, Clifford his agenda is completely different from Mayor Ruffin. Mayor Ruffin is fully prepared to cut Clifford off at the knees. I want to see how important Clifford's agenda is to him, how far he is willing to go for himself and for the pink. Definitely Mercedes' agenda has been derailed. I don't know now how the next 3 episodes, the steps that she may being in cahoots with Autumn is going to help or hurt her. I hope that Mercedes doesn't end up being collateral damage because of Autumn's agenda. Because Autumn is still really giving me low down tease. Now, we have moments where we want to like her, we want to be empathetic towards her. I don't know, but it's something about the way Autumn moves where she's not going to give you a little bit of her unless it's something in it for her. It's something in it for her. It's always about her agenda. She's always working the angle of her own agenda. And she just comes across villainous to me for that reason. But you guys tell me what you think. Put it down below. Did you enjoy this episode? Are you excited about the next 3 episodes? That means we've got 3 more weeks together, you guys. I'm excited. I'm excited to see where this thing crescendos and how it all pops off, especially with the 8th episode. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts. Please put it down below. And until next time, honeybees. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I love.